for days. It's like they're waiting for the carnage, he added. I just didn't see it that way. Not yet, anyway. Flip-flops, I said, when Winter stepped out of the passenger seat. You wore flip-flops? And a dress? It was a sporty sundress cut just above the knee, but still. Winter looked down at herself as if she weren't sure. Yeah, so? So, I said, we're going to be racing other people, the clock, and you're going to be racing in a dress and in shoes that are... I studied their rubbery pink platform, their sparkly little thongy thing. Barely shoes. I could run a marathon in these puppies, Winter said. Not to worry. Besides, if you haven't noticed, we have a car. Calm down, ladies, Des said, climbing out of the back seat himself, in attire more suitable to a night out clubbing than scavenger hunting. Black skinny jeans, tight black shirt with a faux tuxedo print on the front, and Doc Marten boots. Winter's clothes I might have been able to influence, had I been there when Patrick had picked her up. But Des was Des, and was not one to be influenced or ever, horrors, made over. I'd known him since before I could remember, and in our parent circles anyway, he was still known as the boy who dressed up for Halloween as Daphne from Scooby-Doo when we were in kindergarten. The story, considered a local scandal, had made national headlines. Des had a scrapbook. A fact that I'd always found ludicrous but telling about Oyster Point and where my friends and I fit in. Even before we'd learned how to read, we'd been misunderstood. When Patrick got out of the car and I saw his scavenger hunt attire, I laughed and said, "Why don't we just quit right now?" He wore loud plaid shorts, held up with rainbow suspenders that had white-gloved hands for clasps, and his favorite t-shirt, which read simply, "So Say We All," and was a reference to a show I'd forgotten the name of. The shirt was, alas, tucked in. "Oh, Patrick," I said. "What?" he said. "You don't like my ensemble?" Patrick. I smiled and noted the white sweat socks that climbed from his yellow Converse high tops up to his knees, and wished that my best guy friend, we'd been nearly inseparable since we'd met freshman year, would try at least a little bit harder to hide his more geeky qualities on occasions like this. He was so intimidatingly smart that most people, even jerks, mostly left him alone. He'd probably tutored half of them by now. But I couldn't help but think he was inviting needless ridicule today, and he always took that sort of thing hard, even though he pretended not to. "Ridiculous day, ridiculous clothes," he declared, and he smiled broadly. The curls of his unkempt black hair shook. I smiled and said, "Mission accomplished." I had this thought, God, I'm going to miss him. Surveying my team, my best friends way above and beyond any others, I shook my head and said slowly, "We are one motley-ass crew." Des responded by putting an arm around Winter's shoulders and smiling overmuch as if for a photo, and I said, "I'd make you all go home and change if there was time." But there wasn't time, and anyway Des said, "Chill the F out, Mary," and Winter said, "Seriously," and rolled her eyes. Patrick snapped his suspenders and winked. Point taken. We were lucky to be here on time at all, and that was my fault. I could not and would not tell my parents what I was doing today. Last year, the hunt had ended badly, with a few seniors arrested and others suspended, and my mom especially had taken note. So I had had lunch at the Oyster Hut, the restaurant my parents ran down by the water. We ate there as a family every Saturday, and any departure from that plan without a solid excuse would arouse suspicion. Patrick had picked up Winter, whose mom thought she was going to the mall, then a movie, then sleeping at my house, and then Des, whose parents, like Patrick's, knew exactly what was going on today, before stopping by the restaurant to get me. I tried so hard all through lunch to not seem anxious, eager, anything, repeating in my head, "I'm just going to the movies and sleeping over at Winter's again and again," trying to make a fake truth real. I needed my parents to believe it.